Hello everybody, this is Mk.6 here. I just wanted to bring you guys my very first commentary video featuring two tier 10 premium / collector tanks that I think are pretty darn interesting. The first tank we're going to be looking at today is the American T95E6. Some first impressions of what I believe the tank is like. Kind of like a Chieftain. I would say the turret is just a bit worse. It's definitely faster. Apologies if you can hear that, that's my clock. It's an old school one, but you'll have to deal. Anyways, the other difference is that you don't get hash, but what you do get is some pretty darn nice heat. So, pretty standard on mine. You're just going to go for the center, of course. And after 4202 pushes, I try to get a shot in, but it dips into the cliff. Luckily, though, he did come up alone, and so he's about to die. Hopefully, I can get a shot into his rear, so I push up and go for the tracking shot. Only does critical damage, but it's fine. He ends up going and dying. So now the hill is kind of ours. Like I said, the E6 doesn't have that great of a turret. At least when you compare it to the Chieftain, you can see it has a huge tumor on top. But you can kind of mitigate that. It's actually kind of troll. If you go and look at the model for the tank, or if you see them on the battlefield, yeah, right there, you can only really pen that cupola if you shoot it where the gun is. If you shoot on the sides, then it's just going to bounce. So that doesn't mean that the cupola is invincible. You can see here that I'm using this little bit of rock here at the top of the hill to try and cover that tumor up while I pop the hill. And I'm just getting some easy side shots into this E75 because, well, he has an E100 to deal with. I don't blame him. At this point, I would say that the match has been won. We have turned their attentions between two sides, and we're still just pumping them into shots from either direction. E100 ends up turning his turret as well, so he gets a shot as well. I was going to push the that's a standard B. I was going to push the standard B, but then the Foch gets spotted, so I decided not to, but luckily he's behind the rock. So now is the time to push, pump one more into the E100 to get shot by the standard B. This was a bit of a misplay here. One of the bad things about this tank is its traverse speed. It's really bad. Not as bad as the WZ-113, but it's pretty bad. So he ends up getting 1,000 damage into me, but it's fine because I'm going to clear him. There we go. And now we have an E100, a Leo in front of us, a Foch sitting in their spawn, and E4 sitting in the back. So he is making pretty good use of this cover here, but we're just going to go and look, and he stops moving, and there's a little bit of a hole. So we end up getting a good shot into the side of the Leo tank, and now we're going to turn our direction to the E4. I guess I ledged myself up against that rock there, with my gun pointing up, but get a nice shot into him. I noticed that missile going towards him, and I say my prayers for the E4, so I decided to just kind of dip and head over to the Foch. And looks like he's a typical tier 10 player in the fact that he didn't do anything and his team are going after him. So we're just going to push up here and into the track. Didn't actually think anyone was behind him, but that's a nice 900 tracking damage is always nice. Gonna ram up against him. He bounces, and weirdly enough I bounce even though it was supposed to be a clear pen. It's okay. I kind of let him push down in the hopes of someone else shooting him, but nobody does. And now I kind of want the kill. Luckily everybody bounces, so I'm going to push again. E1 tries to ram him, bless his soul. And I was about to shoot here, but I ended up choosing to shoot the other side just because I didn't want to run the chance of me going and shooting him with the gun. But GG, 3 kills. We get 5k damage, 3 kills, and maybe a good amount of credits. So I would say that was a pretty decent game. And we're going to go immediately into the Chieftain game. So the Chieftain Mk.6, everybody's coveted tier 10 heavy tank. It's a really good tank. I definitely think that the skill cap for this tank is way high. You should definitely go into positions where you know you can use your turret, and you should definitely utilize the above average mobility that you do get in this tank. So for this matchup specifically, I noticed that they have more light tanks on their team, so I decided that I'm going to go and help our Sheridan on the light tank side and go and try to push the church. The reason I'm doing that and not just going alongside my heavies or taking the middle of the town is because, frankly, the church position, when it's ruled over by 2 dangerous TDs and 2 light tanks, especially if they're E1 and Sheridan are decent players, you can basically shoot anyone with impunity, and, well, that's not great. So I'm going to go over here and try to stop that. And our girl's already dead. GG. So I spot this IS-7 here, I load the gold on the move, and lucky shot. And there goes our grill, talking smack about our team, despite dying within less than a minute of the game starting. And yeah, there you go. I give him a little bit of snark, and I think the enemy 183 piles it on. But, you know, a little over a minute has passed, we're already down 2 tanks, both of them tier 10, not looking too great. So I'm just going to go and try to focus this IS-7, and you'll notice here I do just a tiny bit more than what an average player would do. Yes, you want to shoot the IS-7, but if you go and dedicate yourself to doing things like shooting him in the track, shooting him in the engine deck, stuff like that, it allows your Waffen trigger to go and, you know, have the potential to reload one more time, get one more potential shot in, and that just makes your life a whole lot easier. Now, though, the Waffen trigger does get his shot off, and IS-7 is one shot, so I'm going to take my time, shoot him in the track, and he's gone. So now we're just going to push up onto this E1 here. He's not going to be able to reverse down the slope fast enough, and we get a good clean shot. At this point, I realize we need to go and clear this hill, so I'm going to go and push this E1. I'm kind of seeing if he's going to run, and of course he is. There he goes. But it's fine, he goes downhill, so I'm going to try and use the upper position. I checked the hill to make sure nobody's there to shoot me, but I guess someone who wasn't spotted ended up taking the opportunity. So I dedicate myself, go over the ridge here, and hopefully we'll be able to re-engage this E1, and a miss. And we get shot again from the rear. So it's probably the E5, I think. But I need to clear these 2 tanks because they're just really dangerous. Pop down here, use my gun depression, pump one into him, and he shoots me with a nice old snapshot for 600 damage. It's fine, that is balanced, you know. Hash right into the rear, gets him down to a 1-shot, and just checking around, the Sheridan pops up, so I try to pull back behind the ridge. I'm surprised he didn't use a missile, because I feel like that's the whole point of them, is to go and shoot things around corners, and E1 makes the mistake of pulling back. Now it's a 4v3. Oh, now it's a 3v3. So I really want to clear the Sheridan. He's on the other side of the wall, and there's the VK, really hoping he didn't shoot me, and he doesn't. I know he's a slow tank, he's not going to be able to go up the hill, nor is he going to be able to flank around in time, so I push down this hill here, trying to engage from a different angle, and there's the Sheridan, and I think he goes AFK to start typing some smack or something, and he just goes and gets destroyed. So now it's just a 2v3, and immediately it's a 2v2. I noticed that it's my full health Sheridan versus an E5, so I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to win that. So I'm just trying to find this VK, and there he is. He's on the left, and he's in the dip. Now, you'll notice there's a little bit of an incline here. I'm trying to use this to try and, like, tilt my tank down to get more gun depression, but he's just not in the right spot for that, so... Here he tries to push up against the slope here, and I have a shot into his roof deck, but RNGesus says, nope, not today. So we're just going to try and use our gun depression here, and into the side. He fires, he misses. I know I'm going to reload in time, so I'm going to go and pop over, take one more clean shot into his rear tank. I honestly maybe should have tried using Hesh there, but I don't think the difference in damage would have made that much of a significant impact. Here, though, I realize that this is a kind of a risky position. The gun depression is still being used, but he can definitely shoot me in the track and he can pen my tank, especially now it's a 2v1. So I'm going to move to this position. It's much better. The only exposed part of my hull is the upper plate, and I take a good clean shot into his cupola, and I don't know why I hesitated, but I just go ahead, push down, clear him. So now there's a little bit going through my head. The E5 was last spotted all the way across the map, and he could very well still be there, but I'm thinking now with the new American consumables that boost your engine power, he could literally be anywhere. So I was thinking of maybe keeping the church, keep Vision out there, but I was thinking maybe we'd be better off to just go into the middle of the town. He might be running, I could catch him somewhere. But then I remembered it's tier 10, and if you're a one-shot, you're probably not going to move. So I just head over to his last known position, just to make sure I go ahead and ask my teammates, but as soon as I do that, boom, he pops. Switch to HE, trying to shoot him in the turret, anything, do some splash damage, but I guess I shot him in the gun or the tracks. And now I'm just trying to get against the rock, get underneath his gun, force him to come out, and he does exactly that. Shoot him in the lower glacis, nice little tank fire, and that's 5 kills, 5k damage. Now just a quick look at the post-game stats. So you'll see, it was a pretty good mastery game. Over 5k damage, 5 kills, 100,000 credits made, and a good fair bit of experience points. So thank you all for watching. This has been Mk.6, and I'll catch you guys next time.